All I want is to have a little more wisdom.
To have wisdom. You want to seize it, to own it. You want it for power, not for itself.
What, do you not want it for power? What is the use of building an ideal republic in a philosophy group if you're not prepared to fight for it with the rest of us in the assembly?
It's not orations that cities need, Alcibiades. Nor walls, nor warships. But knowledge, wisdom, and virtue.
My sisters.
Plato's The Republic covers 5 societies, 4 of which are imperfect. We will start with the perfect one, the Republic, going on to timarchy, oligarchy, and democracy, progressively deteriorating towards the least society-like regime, tyranny. The happiness of these societies will progressively decrease as we move on in this video.
The first society we will talk about is the Republic. This ideal society, as Plato describes, is governed by a philosopher king and thus is grounded in wisdom and reason. His character and ambitions have been forged into those ideal for a just ruler through a rigorous education system designed to train intellectuals that are selfless and upright and whose souls have been made calm and aware of the absolute good by learning the truth. This mirrors the Christian version of the body, soul, and spirit, body being the well-famed power, soul being the idea of good, and spirit being happiness. A perfect balance of these parts within a society or the individual places them in a state of justice, where no element interferes with the other, and every part adheres to its role. This personal justice allows the philosopher king to rule over any type of society, and when he is exposed to metaphysical temptations, he does not abuse his power in the pursuit of material goods. And his state policies are therefore dedicated to establishing only the good in the state, not his personal interests. His regime is comprised of 3 classes: the guardians, the auxiliary, and the majority of the people. To keep both the rulers and the citizens untempted, there is a balance of power, in which the authoritative guardians are not allowed to own property, whereas the unauthoritative citizens are allowed to own property.
This trade-off ensures happiness.
The Republic degenerates into a timarchy when a soldier or plebeian is placed into the role of a guardian. They fall in between reason and desire, the good versus the physical, an aggressive and courageous place. These people of inferior nature still cultivate virtue but are more interested in producing wealth. Because of this emphasis on wealth and power, the people aren't pacified by philosophical education, and laws are imposed on them by force. The people of the timarchy are more inclined to pick a simple-minded, high-spirited leader, suited more for war. These current state leaders value power and obtain it through military force, rather than intellectual means. Timarchy is a blend of the republic and oligarchy and represents a culture torn between the power-hungry and the virtuous.
Oligarchy is an extension of the tendencies existing in timarchy, where the unfit rulers start to exploit their wealth and start to find more pleasure in instant gratification. The oligarchic individual craves honor and fame. The only thing preventing him from joining the lower class is the virtue of temperance, not out of spiritual concern, but with regards to his wealth. With this newfound appreciation towards money, the leaders start to reform the laws to accommodate the material greed of the citizens, and the political power is restricted to the rich. This precludes the perhaps wise and virtuous poor people from implementing laws that prevent the exploitation of money. The gap between the rich and the poor only increases as the governors rule in their own favor. Oligarchy degenerates into democracy, where the rich are irrelevant and the lower class grows bigger and bigger. The democratic individual is increasingly free to do whatever they want, even if it means breaking the law. This popular regime has too many leaders, and they are all focused on pure liberty and equality. Justice, the balance of the body, soul, and spirit, is totally invaded by unnecessary desires, much like a child. What democracy lacks compared to the aforementioned societies is a certain tolerance towards inequality, and is bound to descend into tyranny. The lack of discipline in democracy is the key to tyranny. The society falls into chaos, and one democratic or oligarchic individual rises to take control. This champion to the people may seem like a friend, and may even consider himself as a friend, but according to Plato, once he tastes blood, he is corrupted forever, much like Hitler. By the time the people realize that they want him out, he is already too feared and authoritative. Eventually, the only way that they can overthrow this man is through war at the expense of tens of millions of people.
this video to a full circle, Plato asserts that the state's new constitution should be modeled after his republic, the happiest society, since the people know that tyranny is the least happy.